time since I recorded a video, but here I am, back like I never left. The last video I recorded was entitled I Quit Prime. And that video basically was just a little rundown, a little backstory as to my experience working with Prime Inc, the mega carrier. Just was a little recap on my experience on how things went and why I left. I might drop the link in this video. I can go back and watch it. But that was my very first, actually my one and only post and upload to YouTube. Just trying to help out drivers who are considering the company and which way they should go. Make the decision on choosing a carrier, and if they were to choose Prime, like how, the different options they have as a company or lease driver. And here I am now. It's been a minute since I posted that video. It was a while. Probably back in 2019, and that's now 2023. So, a minute ago. I left them, but I actually returned. I was a rehire. I left Prime, went back to Prime, and was with them for like a year. I just left them for a second time within the last month. But I did return, and it was a better experience the second time around than the first time. I was able to cope a little better and deal with certain things better than I did before. Overall, a good company though. Even as I stated in my first video, it was never a bad company. It just wasn't working for me in that moment. But I did return. I leased I had a 9-month lease. If you know anything about Prime, they have different lease terms. So I chose a 9-month lease. It wasn't anything too long. Get in, get out. I did get a payout, which I wasn't even expecting. But shoot, it gave me a payout. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't complain, man. I can't complain. It did what it was supposed to do. It served its purpose. When I came back, I only went back to them honestly because I had a 15 over on my PSP. If you know anything about a PSP, it's just a record of anything, any inspection you've ever had, anything that you've ever encountered on the road negatively, any weight tickets, anything like that, it might show up on the PSP. So I had a 15 over. Got caught in a speed trap some years back, and I found out, trying to return back into trucking, I had a hard time because of that. Prime was willing to take me, so I went with them. They told me that I had to get a COVID shot, the vaccine. I had to get vaccinated, which I didn't want to do, but that was a guideline for them. And it was crazy when I got to my orientation. I'm talking to different people, and they're like, "Yo, I didn't have to get vaccinated." Like, whatever, that's another story. But they put that in front of me, and I did it. I wanted to get back into trucking. I ended up obtaining my Security Plus, which is a CompTIA certification for IT shit. And I had that, so I was using that for about a year. So I left trucking, and I was like, man, I want to go back. I missed it. Just an open road, a little bit of freedom, and the potential for more. In trucking, the sky, and there's just no ceiling. So I went back, and I went back to Prime, the same company that I left, that I made my first initial video about leaving. And but like I said, I had a different dispatcher, better dispatcher. A better truck, a couple of different things. It was just better. I had a different mindset, better mindset. I had more mouths to feed. You know what I'm saying? Had more babies. So I was, a lot more motivated, a lot more focused. There was very few things that could knock me off my A game, and I was just going to do that. It cost me the boss, and out there. It was cool. It's been good so far. I can't complain. Now I'm with a company where I'm working regionally. Of course, with Prime, I was OTR and I was leasing. So now I'm regional, not running as many miles, not going as far out. I do get home on weekends. And I don't have a truck no more. So when I come back from my hometown, I'm not in the home. If you have leased before, you know how that feels, you know how that goes. It's inevitable. You know, you only got 7 days in a week. And you take a little bit from that 7, you spend it at home, you come back paying for it at some point. And the amount of time you take off the road and the wheels are not turning, you will pay for it as a lease driver. The market, of course, as we know, has taken a shift. Rates are lower. Fuel is high. All the things that affect the owner-operator or lease operator. And lease is just 10 times as hard as owner. Because you have much higher expenses. So, this is different. I've never been a company driver before. Never worked for a cent per mile. I'm getting 68 over here, where I'm at, which is cool. I'm starting to learn though that companies paying a higher CPM might not have a lot of miles, but the companies paying, you know, in the 50s, maybe closer to 60, probably will get you more miles. And that's where things even out. But, you know, I heard 60, I thought it was going to be 65, it ended up being 68. So, you know, I heard that number, I thought it was great. I was like, I'll go for it. They promised me a certain amount of miles per week. Haven't been seeing that. But, we'll see how it goes. It's only been about a month, going on a month. So, still weighing things out, filling things out. They were deducting an escrow from me right now, so I'm not even seeing my full paychecks anyway. As well as I've had a couple weeks where I had a day off. I didn't run, or I had a doctor appointment. So I experienced that too. So that may have affected me. So I'm still weighing things out and still just paying attention. Seeing how, you know, where it could go, all that good stuff. Not making any final decisions or abrupt calls yet, just going with the flow and, you know, waiting for the cards that are dealt to me. And yeah, man, I'm just leaving Wilmington, North Carolina, headed to Anderson, South Carolina. A short run. About 400 miles total, including empty miles. So, not the 500 to 600 miles that I was promised before coming over here. I understand though there's gonna be some days where it's gonna be shorter, but I'm not getting really 500 to 600 consistently enough. Not as consistent as I thought I would. I'm getting 500 to 600 every now and again, but like I said, I'm just going with the flow right now. I'm speaking up as well. I talked to my dispatch today, and I was like, yeah, so what's up with those, you know, 500 to 600 mile trips that I'm supposed to be getting per load? They're like, yeah, freight is slow here, freight is slow there. It's, you know, typical. So, you know, I said, all right, cool. I did my due diligence, and I spoke up. And I spoke on how I felt. Because that's all I could do right now, and I did that. And I'm just gonna be patient, see where this path takes me along my journey. Beautiful day, 75 degrees, and it's February 15th. Yep, February 15th, 75 degrees. Can't complain, man. This is my kind of weather. It's actually great riding weather. My bikers at, you know. It's beautiful riding weather. So I'm missing out, but I got to get to the bag right now. hopefully by the weekend, still get some nice weather, and I'm gonna get it in. In the meantime, I'm on the Grizzly, and that's what it is. And I appreciate y'all time. I'm about to slide out of here. You know what I'm saying? I'll be back. I'm gonna definitely be posting more. Keep y'all more up to date on what's going on with me. You know, I appreciate y'all, showing me some love. Subscribe, hit like. Let's keep in touch.